shot, or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment. Did you capture it, or just let it slip?
Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's choking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, loud. Snap back to reality, oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit, he choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up that easy. No, he won't have it, he knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter, he's dope, he knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant, he knows when he goes back to this mobile home, that's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This old rhapsody, better go capture this moment and hope it don't be. You better lose yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better so weeping, this world is mine for the taking. Make me king as we move toward a new world order. A normal life is boring, but superstardom's close to postmortem. It only grows harder, homie grows hotter. He blows, it's all over, these losses all on him. Coast to coast shows, he's known as the Globetrotter. Lonely roads, God only knows he's grown farther from home. He's no father, he goes home and barely knows his own daughter. But hold your nose, cause here goes the cold water. These losses don't want him no more, he's cold product. They moved on to the next mo who flows, he knows dove and sold nada. And so the soap opera is told, it unfolds. I suppose it's old partner, but the beat goes on. Da-da-dum. You better lose yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity, you better lose yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better no more games, I'ma change what you call rage. Tear this motherfucking roof off like two dogs' cage. I was playing in the beginning, the mood all changed. I've been chewed up and spit out and booed off stage, but I kept rhyming and stepped right in the next cipher. Best believe somebody's paying the Pied Piper. All the pain inside amplified by the fact that I can't get by with my 9 to 5, and I can't provide the right type of life for my family. Cause man, these goddamn food stamps don't buy diapers, and there's no movie, there's no Mackay Pfeiffer. This is my life and these times are so hard, and it's getting even harder trying to feed and water my seed. Plus, see the thought I caught it between being a father and a prima donna. Baby mama drama screaming on her, too much for me to wanna stay in one spot. Another damn monotony's gotten me to the point I'm like a snail. I've got to formulate a plot or end up in jail or shot. Success is my only motherfucking option, failure's not. Mama love you, but this trailer's got to go. I cannot grow old in Salem's lot, so here I go, it's my shot. Feet fail me not, this may be the only opposite self in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
You set your mind to, man.
I touch on you.
Hair marks on his hand and shirt, the only visible evidence of a bruised and battered torso.
I don't know. I think he overjumped the double. He kind of came out a little crooked and kind of ran into my line.
And when he jumped off of that, he kind of drifted over and, came down right on me.
Between the crash and the semifinal, Mike LaRocco Sr. with the Kawasaki crew replaced the front end, the hub, the tire, the shocks, everything to get ready for the semi. A brush with the hay bale put LaRocco in dead last during the semifinal, but he still came back, not only making the main event, but placing third. But before they could go racing again, the crew had to finish the rear end, replacing all but the frame and motor. About $15,000 worth of parts all told. A masterful mechanic's job finished in time. Back to the main now. Number 2 from Indiana met another hay bale, dropping him from 3rd to 5th. But in 4 laps, he was back to 3rd, where he would finish a courageous ride.
The bike was fine. I just had a hard time turning. When I went down to my heat race, I bruised my right side ribs pretty good. It was just giving me a lot of problems, and it was kind of taking my breath away. So, I apologize. I wasn't 100% tonight.
Henry suffered a thumb injury from that earlier crash, lost his battle with Hughes, then faded to 9th. For the 125 rider Ryan Hughes, it was a dream come true. His first podium on a 250, a machine he's beginning to like.
I can ride a little bit smoother and don't have to worry about getting over stuff, and today's probably one of the happiest days of my life right now.
The top 3 orders stayed the same for the final 12 laps, with Kudrowski and Ward moving up to 4th and 5th. The checkers, Jeremy is back. Career win number 25, his 6th of the season.
You guys don't really know how nervous I was before this race, and it was hitting me a little hard, and I'm glad to be back. Get back in these indoor races and put it back together.
The championship points race has McGrath leading LaRocco by 20 points. Ward only 1 point up on Mike Kudrowski in 3rd. LaRocco, of course, working out the bumps and bruises. And Ryan Hughes, I was so happy to see that big smile on his face. What a thrill for the youngster to get on his first 250 podium.
No question about that. Let's stay with motocross for a minute and go to the rumor mill. What are we hearing about Damon Bradshaw?
Well, he's coming back as an analyst, first of all, for our national outdoor coverage. But he has been riding. Don't expect him in 95. Maybe in 1996, Damon Bradshaw will pull a Michael Jordan and come on back.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Now let's stick with motocross and head west for this week's 1-800-COLLECT Honda scoreboard. California's big North-South Winter Series showdown is complete. David Pingree, followed by Doug Dubach and Casey Johnson, top the result sheet. Don Upton, Corey Keeney, and Greg Schnell are your series champions. Jeff Matazovich wins the 250 overall, finishing 1-1 on the afternoon, but the second place showing for the Doctor gets him big bike bragging rights in the state of California. The Mickey Thompson Ultracross main event went to series leader Kyle Lewis. Healy and Holland just off the podium, but they're on our scoreboard. Dave Sadowski also had California on his mind, specifically the speedy Willow Springs circuit. Sadowski, the 1994 WERA Formula USA champion, outlasted 93 titleist Chuck Graves for the victory. Walt Dorsch with just a couple of seconds behind Graves. Nick Einach with a nice ride picks up 5th spot. And finally, Scott Summers stayed sharp by winning his home state's Mid-South Hare Scrambles. John Machino is that Series AA leader, but out of the race top 5. Now we're headed for a break. Later, we'll have the latest skirmish in a terrific 125 East Supercross title chase from Indy. We'll visit the American Enclave of Speedway Racing for some AMA national action. And up next, down and dirty in the red clay of Georgia on the AMA Enduro Trail. Stay with us.
Hey, I'm not home. Just leave a message.
Tommy, the hot tub's getting cold. Where are you?
Yo, Tom, we're shooting pool. You coming or what?
Thomas, your birthday dinner's in the oven. Everyone's waiting. Tommy, if you're there, pick up. Tommy?
How do you visualize your future? This or this? Call Motorcycle Mechanics Institute and get on the fast track to success. Endorsed by all 5 major manufacturers, the MMI professionals will provide the technician training to give you control of your future.
I'm currently in charge of Team Suzuki Yoshimura's Super Sport program. I wouldn't be here today without MMI on my resume.
Call Motorcycle Mechanics Institute now to train for your future.
off-road rider, this is heaven. And when California off-roader Ty Davis signed with Kawasaki's Team Green for '95, he asked to campaign for the National Enduro Championship. Team manager Mark Johnson offered a compromise. Let's see how the early races go. 2 rounds later, it was Davis over the field 2-zip. Round 3 took place in Greensboro, Georgia, just a hop, skip, and a couple of checkpoints from the home of 5-time champion Randy Hawkins.
The Cherokee National Enduro brought attention back to the Southeast and its native son, Randy Hawkins. But according to Randy, home track advantage is not always the best scenario for winning.
It's kind of like, I think, the LaRocco and Stanton syndrome. I don't think those guys, they have the hardest time in their own stadiums, so this is considered one of my stadiums.
At the start, there's no doubt which Row 22 rider is the 5-time national champion. And while Hawkins was still looking for his first victory of the season, some fans were wondering, enduro or hill climb? A good matchup brewing between Eastern up-and-comer Mike Lafferty and Kawasaki-mounted Kelby Pepper. They both mastered the hill and ended the day with scores of 11. The tie-breaking check settled it. Lafferty took 4th place away from Pepper. And if you think the top of the hill provided all the excitement, check out the action at the bottom. Thanks to MotoWorld crash catcher Stuart Price for capturing Steve Hatch on home video just as he's peeling the bark off the nearest tree. Always a good sport, Hatch admits a simple lapse in concentration.
I decided everybody looked pretty bored when I was coming into that corner, so I decided to see how hard I hit the tree, and I hit it pretty hard, I think. But unfortunately, the tree won on that one.
Hatch's problems continued as he attempted to zero this check. He looked down at his computer a little too late, found out he was a little too early, and wound up burning it. Hatch finished 3rd on the day with 9 points. As expected, the wide-open throttle of Ty Davis matched the East Coast smarts of Randy Hawkins all day long. With the top 2 stars, 6 points each on the day. 8 of the 12 checks came up zeros. Randy barely pulling in this one, trials style. Davis just quick enough to win on the tiebreaker by a margin of 50 seconds. Even with 6 rounds to go, Davis is well on his way to a first National Enduro Championship.
Next one's in California, and I'm really looking forward to that one. And if I can win that one, shoot, I think we're on our way to the whole series.
Another frustrated outing for Hawkins, who claims the tight Georgia trails were non-existent.
Today, I was really disappointed in the event just because if you look at my bark buster, I never hit a tree all day. It was so open. We dropped more points in Phoenix, where it's desert. They don't even have trees, than we did here today.
Davis now leads the series by a pretty comfortable margin. Hawkins and Hatch doing battle for 2nd place. Incidentally, this was the 3rd no-show round for last year's runner-up, Kevin Hines, who essentially forfeits his bid for the '95 title. I'm Logan Sterling for MotoWorld.
Thanks, Logan. Ty Davis's climb to the top of the off-road sport has been spectacular. He'll be joining us here in the studio in a few weeks to talk about it, so be sure to tune in. Now it's time for this week's tip from the Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. Here's Robert Drapp on brake maintenance.
Most manufacturers call for inspection of brake components at regular intervals, such as every 2,500 miles. Between scheduled services, a quick inspection of the disc surface can alert you to a problem before it leads to an unsafe condition or major damage and expense. Most brake discs are flat with a fairly smooth surface, like this one. When a professional technician inspects a disc, he will usually check for warp using a straight edge and a feeler gauge. He'll check for runout using a dial indicator, thickness using a micrometer, cracks, gouges, and grooves by close visual inspection. Once a week, give your brake disc a visual inspection for grooves, gouges, and cracks. A small amount of wear is normal, but if you find any of these conditions present, consult your dealer for an expert evaluation.
Thank you, Robert. Here at MotoWorld, we're taking applications for our newest MMI scholarship worth $5,000 for MMI campuses in either Phoenix or Orlando. Call 1-800-225-1234 for details and be thinking about why you would like to become an MMI-trained motorcycle mechanic. Drag racing is coming up next, so stay tuned.
MotoWorld is being brought to you in part by the Motorcycle Mechanics Institute, the only major manufacturer-endorsed motorcycle training institution.
It's Rayleigh's Eagle Station Shopping Center for one-stop shopping with fashion, sporting goods, restaurants, services, and more. Imagine it, then find it at Hobbytown USA. We can satisfy all your hobby needs. Trains, models, remote cars, boats and planes, fantasy games, erector sets, and airbrush supplies. Hobbytown USA. And for the finest Japanese dining in northern Nevada, visit Yamacho Japanese Restaurant. It's not all raw fish, it's dining at its very best. Eagle Station Shopping Center with over 30 great stores. 95's Alive at the Carson Station Hotel Casino with free 21 tournaments and video poker tournaments, live entertainment, and best in the West good times and friendly hospitality. Play liberal slots and video poker with Nevada Nickels, Quartermania, and Megabucks leading the way. Hungry? Diners flock to the Station Restaurant for the best food specials in town. Budget gourmet dining at the Station Grill and Rotisserie features delicious foods and choice wines, with happy hour dinners just $9.75. The Carson Station Hotel Casino. Good for the fun in you.
Tennis. The sport of gentlemen. Where things are always returned to their proper place. Faults are taken in stride. Everyone serves with pride. And love means never having to say you're sorry. Davis Cup quarterfinals, Friday at 1, Advantage ESPN.
Team Suzuki presents the MotoWorld Suzuki Event Calendar. A look at some of the major events coming up in the world of motorcycles and ATVs.
Can Scotty Parker build on last year's success? Find out April 1 as the AMA Grand National Series rolls into Pomona, California for round 2 of 1995. Stay in Pomona for the weekend because round 2 of the AMA Superbike Series will be in town the very next day. Heading to Malaysia on April 2nd? Who isn't? Why not head over to the Shah Alam circuit for the prestigious World Grand Prix Series? Or the easy way, just tune in for all of your highlights right here on MotoWorld. The opening round of the National Hot Rod Association Drag Racing Series finally got to Houston, Texas after a rainout. While all eyes were on 5-time defending champion Dave Schultz, who was sporting some new leathers, a young rider was out to make a name for himself early in this year's series. The delay in staging the opening round of the NHRA Series in Houston meant Dave Schultz had to wait to show off his new blue Sunoco leathers. He was able to edge out last year's main nemesis John Myers in the semis, an amazing record 181.19 miles an hour, entering one more final round. In the other semi, Houston native Michael Phillips faced off against Rick Ward. Phillips, riding the Harry Lartigue-tuned Suzuki, was a little slow off the line, posting a .461, but when your bike goes 177.44 miles an hour, almost 8 miles an hour faster than Ward, your chances of entering the final and meeting Dave Schultz are pretty good. Now, Schultz has been to 43 career finals. Phillips just one. So imagine how Dave felt when Phillips hung a tree on him, 412 to 518, and the upset was in the making. Schultz's bike topped out at 180.65 miles an hour, but he was unable to make up the time, conceding victory to the hometown favorite. Was Michael Phillips happy? You betcha. And Michael Phillips had good reason to celebrate. That was his first national event win. Now let's turn from an American passion to a British one. The UK hosts a Premier League of nearly 24 speedway motorcycle teams that do battle on television throughout the summer. American riders have an honored place in the history of the sport, despite the fact that virtually the only place you'll find speedway action in the U.S. is the state of California. We take you to the Spring Classic at Costa Mesa, where there was lots of action in the evening's first heat race. Rider 4 just appearing on your screen is birthday boy, Flying Mike Faria. More on him later. Still in the first heat, U.S. and former world champion Sudden Sam Ermolenko provides a rare contribution to our blooper reel, finding a hole in the corner, and over he goes. Sam had a terrible night and failed to post a top 5 finish in either main event. Now, in speedway racing, things tend to happen quickly. Watch the first turn position swapping in Heat 2. Gary Hicks goes from second to last, while Greg Hancock jumps from third to first, and he eventually takes the Heat win. In the scratch main, Faria makes up for an earlier sin, touching the tape and getting penalized for it by getting the great start from position 1. This year's Spring Classic showed little resemblance to the '94 version, which was dominated by British League riders. Rain fell throughout most of the night, keeping the Costa Mesa Circle a bit slippery. Here it relegates Bobby Boogaloo Schwartz back to 5th place, where he'd eventually finish. No position changes from there on out, and a big 38th birthday present for Flying Mike, who's most likely headed to England's Premier League this summer over Doug Nickel, Charlie Venegas, and Hancock. Rad Brad Oxley, who doubled as race promoter, is your handicap main event winner. Faria rounds out the top 5. We'll be back with more Supercross from Indianapolis after a break.
When you're done exploring the high points of these 95 Suzukis, make sure you check out the low points. 9.9% financing, 0 down on some of our best bikes. And another high point, you could win a Suzuki 4-door Sidekick or other prizes during our Customer Appreciation Day sweepstakes for a limited time. See your Suzuki motorcycle dealer now.
Friday night at 8:30 Eastern, former world champion Kevin Kelly faces Puerto Rican national champion Ricardo Rivera. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
Your right brain craves excitement, but your left brain nags to be practical. So get this hand on a Yamaha, and get this one on 8.9% APR, and 0 down, right side. Left side, great financing, plus $200 worth of free accessories. But since this one appeals more to your emotional side, here's a reminder for your rational side. Everybody's happy.
Later on SportsCenter, for Frank Reich, nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina. As for Arkansas, they're on the road to Seattle and looking to repeat. And of course, we'll catch up on Cato back on the stand for a 4th day. Join us at 6:30 Eastern.
Welcome back to Moto World. Bob Varsha and Art Ekman with you. Art, isn't it a little ironic that while Jeremy McGrath dominates the featured class of Supercross, the 250s, we've got a great but overlooked title fight in the 125s?
It's the tightest points race we've got in Supercross in the East 125s. 3 teenage sensations. You got Tim Ferry, Kevin Windham, and then the Frenchman, Mikel Pichon. Now, Windham has opted to stay home in the East region while Ferry and Pichon sharpen their technique riding 250s when the series travels out west. Now, that extra work paid off for Pichon in the RCA Dome. When the gate dropped for the 125s, number 78, John Sebastian Roy, and number 43, Kevin Windham, led the chase for the whole shot. Roy getting the edge of the corner, but it was Windham not wasting any time, taking the lead away shortly after. Heat winners Tim Ferry and Mikel Pichon didn't get the greatest of starts in 5th and 7th, but by the end of lap 2, number 23, Tim Ferry, moved into 3rd. And Pichon, number 101, would win his skirmish with Roy for 4th on the next lap. The surprise performance of the race was number 37, Davey Jezik. Usually showing early quickness this year, he moved into 2nd on the 2nd lap and then took the lead away from Windham. It turned into a great side-by-side show for the fans. Number 43 had led for 6 laps when Jezik made his move. Tim Ferry, wanting for back-to-back wins after Daytona, battled Jezik for 2 laps before finally getting the edge. His lead would be short-lived, however. Jezik recaptures the lead with only 6 laps remaining as Ferry slid out. Both Jezik and Pichon, who had bested the fading Windham, passed number 23. Jezik held on to his advantage for 2 laps. That's when the smooth and charming Frenchman would make his bid for the lead and never look back. Ferry made sure Pichon wouldn't get too big of an advantage in the points race. He fended off Windham and took Jezik on lap 14 to nail down 2nd place.
I'm not happy with 2nd. 2nd's the first loser.
For Jezik, it was his first podium since 1993.
I haven't run in top 3 for a while, and I don't remember, it takes a lot more endurance than I thought I had and needed, so next race I'll be ready in a couple weeks.
Pichon the checkers for the 2nd time on the season. He's been on the podium every race.
I'm very happy. I know I'm very lucky because Tim Ferry and Crash and passing like that, but for the championship, it's really good, and I'm very happy. It was a good race.
Don't forget, Mikel Ferry had the luck at Daytona. In the run for the 125 East Championship, Pichon by 7 points. Windham, in his rookie season, 14 back. Jezik is next with Brown and Karsten tied for 5th. That win gives Pichon that slight lead in the East, but this battle is going to be fun to watch. It's going right down to the wire, Bob.
And we will be watching. Thanks, Art. We'll take a quick time out. When we return, a couple of Supercross stars will join us for a little fun on the links as Moto World continues.
He misses. Man, bogey, bogus.
Moto World is brought to you in part by your local Yamaha dealer, who invites you to see their exciting line of motorcycles, ATVs, and snowmobiles. The latest bikes, the hottest wheels, the greatest finishes.
That's all I ever wanted.
It's time to ride your own race. Get on the fast track to success by calling Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. Endorsed by all 5 major manufacturers, the professionals at MMI will provide you with the training to finish first.
1 year after graduation, and I'm working for the 2-time and current AMA National Championship GT Endurance Road Race team, Team Moto Liberty.
This is the call that can change your life. Take the first step to MMI.
For the upcoming Boston game, we've secretly switched one of Eric's sticks with one of our own. Let's see if he can tell the difference. Yes, it seems that he actually can tell the difference. He's a little disappointed, obviously. Perhaps we should have just...
Your right brain craves excitement, but your left brain nags to be practical. So get this hand on a Yamaha. And get this one on 8.9% APR and 0 down, right side. Left side, great financing, plus $200 worth of free accessories. But since this one appeals more to your emotional side, here's a reminder for your rational side. Everybody's happy.
Welcome back to Moto World. A couple of weeks ago, following the Atlanta Supercross round, we invited series champions Damon Huffman and Jeremy McGrath, self-proclaimed scratch golfers, to join Moto World staffers for 18 holes of hooks, slices, and expletives. It was a great day for Jeremy's mechanic, Skip Norfolk.
That was a good shot.
Then again, a great setup sometimes leads only to frustration.
I want to quit right now.
Somewhere on the back nine, a new course record was set. Unofficial, at least, for highest number of strokes on one hole.
I play golf a lot, but the way I'm playing today, I don't think I have a future.
And special thanks go to Supercross producer Scott McLemore and director Gary Foster for encouraging a new standard in golf etiquette. Sorry, Scott. The day produced a headline. McGrath declares himself eligible for the PGA Tour.
Well, I figure I'll be ready for the seniors. It's about 30 years.
Like McGrath and Huffman, our Moto World cameras searched high and low for the ball, and also anything else resembling the shot of the day.
He's up right up there with me now.
And we finally found it on the 18th hole.
Oh, it's 18th hole. You're up by a couple. You need a hole-in-one to beat me. I don't want to put any pressure or anything on you, but you need a hole-in-one.
See this thing? In the hole, baby.
Yeah, well, prove it to me.
Yeah, all right. You guys ready?
Easy, nothing to it.
You know, I had a shot exactly like that once, but somehow it never cleared the bar. Oh well, next week we'll be back to two-wheeled racing action, including all the Supercross highlights from the Lone Star State and another big East-West showdown in the 125 class. We'll have round 2 of the Grand National Cross Country Series, and we'll see how Guy Cooper fares in his new off-road campaign. And the newest addition to our reporting staff, Leroy Powell, has a piece on old guys who ride.
Yeah, you got to be tough, be an indoor. You just got to be persistent.
NHRA drag racing, Lake Whitney Amateur Nationals, and much, much more.
Airtime's here on ESPN Sunday, April 2nd at 2:30 a.m., Saturday night, 11:30 out west. Re-air comes on Tuesday, April 4th at 4 p.m., perfect for the lunchtime crowd out west.
For Art Ekman and all of us hackers here at Moto World, I'm Bob Varsha. Thanks for watching.
Moto World has been brought to you by Honda Motorcycles, the leader in on and off-road fun. Honda, come ride with us. Discover today's motorcycling. For the straight facts on motorcycling, call 1-800-833-3995. And by Suzuki. Right now.
I love the way, as I said, he stretches the defense.